The tradition that I studied in is known as a Theravadin tradition, and there's various sects of the or lineage within the Theravadin tradition. The Theravadin tradition is the only tradition that first the word itself means elder, Theravada, the way of the elder. And it goes all the way back to the time of the Buddha. And it's not a largely populated lineage, because after the Buddha left his body, that particular lineage, a lot of the monastics left because it was so difficult. And so the lineage was consumed by other lineage to carry it for, I don't know, for a period of time. And then it came out on its own again. And however, it's still very small because it's so strict. And with the disciplines and everything, it's the lineage where, well, like I said, it's a lot of practice. And then within that lineage, there's, at least in Thailand, there's the Dhammayut and the Mahanakaya, or there's two different lineages. One of the lineages that I mentioned was founded by the king of Thailand. And the other lineage is the lineage that goes all the way back to the time of the Buddha. Don't need to get so caught up in which lineage is what for you here. But the thing to remember of the Theravadin lineage, there's a word that's called the forest monks. And these monks, the monks, is what it means. They're in the forest, and the main process is practice. So you really walk in your talk. Practice, and more practice. And I would only see another monk maybe 2, or as a community, 2 or 3 times out of 24 hours for maybe an hour or 2 hours. 1 hour or two hours would be maybe 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, around between 2:30 and 3 a.m., somewhere around in there, where we would come together and practice in the meditation hall. And we're together until light, and we go on arms round to go get our food. And so that's around 4:35 a.m., somewhere around in there. It didn't matter what kind of weather is going on, because if you want to eat, you have to go eat your food. And it's a tradition, and so you can imagine the people with time, they have to get up to give us food. The neighborhood, in some of these neighborhoods, is 5 miles away, at least, and even further. But it's all part of the tradition to this day. And by the time we get through eating, it's around maybe 6:30, 7 a.m., something around in there. It feels like I was going to say half the day is gone, but we have a pretty long day, because lying down is not it's not for pleasure. It's not like 6 hours or 8 hours or anything like that. We're only allowed to lie down from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And that was a practice itself, because that's the most difficult meditation practice, is of the 4 postures of the body: sitting, lying, walking, and standing is the lying practice, because it looks so easy. And the other time we would come together would be Well, after we get through eating, we just finish that piece up. We'll have different assignments to clean the meditation hall and so forth. But by the time we get through with our chores, it'll be around maybe 9, somewhere around in there. And I'm back to we call it a kuti, back to my monk's quarters, and I'm cleaning that up and practice. And I go, and there's wash my robes somewhere during that time, around maybe in the middle of the day. And 4 o'clock, I look forward to 4 o'clock because it's tea. Not just tea by yourself, but tea with we come together as a community, and that's always a nice thing because you never know who's going to be there. Sometime we'll have a guest monk that would come in from the woods and come out of their cave or just drop in. That would be wonderful to hear some stories and everything. And usually then it's 6 o'clock because that takes up 2 hours. Then it's time to practice. Go back. I don't see anybody again, and there's practice. And, once every quarter moon, we practice as a community, and so that's always nice. And when I say community, also the public come in and join us to practice during that time. In other words, the mind practice is eliminated. And so it's really about practice. When you're not in retreat, you're practicing some